Why was Aviops Solutions created? It's such a beautiful question, and I actually love answering it. Ding ding. All right, so I've been in ministry for over 10 years. I've worked in ministry for over 10 years, and I've been able to contribute in many different facets and many different capacities. And I've worked in ministries to see them through their current developmental stages, whether they were considered a small ministry, a storefront, or a mega church. And the first thing being in ministry, for those of us who actually have a heart for ministry, a heart for the people, a heart for building this organization that is meant to affect and impact our community and our environment in a positive way that pleases God, is that our hearts are actually in it. And yes, people go through things, people encounter things that throw them off their center. And then, of course, we have to recalibrate and figure out exactly what our mission and what our vision is. But believe it or not, we actually love what we do. However, on the flip side of that, being in these spaces, I noticed consistently that there was either a lack of intentionality put towards developing internal structures, or there was a lack of intentionality regarding the process improvement or the continual improvement of those structures. So the things that might have been good for the ministry 10 years ago or when you're first starting out might not be the same processes that need to be in place now that you're 10 years old or 15 years old. In that same vein of thought, if you're a ministry that has a significant budget because God has blessed and the people believe in what you're doing, you might have the budget, but there are systems that you can implement that someone or an organization that does not have the budget yet will not be able to implement. And with that lack of intentionality or even awareness, because oftentimes it's not on purpose, it's not because they intend to not care about it, it's simply because most ministries are focusing on survival. So Aviop Solutions is here to help your ministry focused on thinking past survival. Yes, we can talk about generation of funds. We can talk about how you manage your team. But I also want to zero in on your organizational culture and your organizational development plan. What we fail to realize is that in the midst of God allowing for expansion to happen in whatever capacity, we often don't prepare for it. And so therefore, when the increase comes, we find that the systems and structures that we have constructed are not able to hold what God has promised. Or in some other cases, because expansion happened so quickly, you had people who were working in the space, but they weren't able to expand or they weren't able to adjust with the new demand and the new capacity, which then puts strain on your team, whether they are volunteers or paid staff. It puts such a strain on your team. And so Aviop Solutions is here to help you figure out your organizational development strategy in order for you to maximize your impact.